faith. I used to see the Osmo Pocket 3 here and there, but this year it's exploded in popularity. It's incredible what this little camera can do, but it just got hit by a nasty price hike thanks to tariffs, and it's also harder than ever to find in stock. So, is it still worth picking up in 2025? And if I had to fork up the extra cash today, would I still buy it? Let's talk about it. Alright, so here's what sparked the idea for this video. I recently got back from a trip in China where 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝟎 flew me out to their headquarters to check out new projectors. But I also squeezed in a visit to see some pandas because priorities. But on that trip, I packed 3 cameras: a Sony A7S III, the Insta360 X5, and of course, the Pocket 3. And while each of those cameras has its strengths, I almost always reach for the Pocket 3 first. It struck the perfect balance of video quality, portability, and speed. Now, I've been using the Pocket 3 since it launched back in October 2023, and before that, I've owned and tested all the other Pockets, as well as every Pocket killer, or so they claim. But they all ultimately felt like stabilized cell phone footage. Not saying they're bad, but they weren't quite the level of quality that I was after for a small camera. But in my time owning this, I've also put it head to head with every other camera that I think could possibly dethrone it, including 360 cameras, action cameras, magnetic cameras. But the Pocket 3 always came out on top and had the edge in video quality, especially with low light and depth of field. By the way, I'm Paul. I cover tech that earns a place in my kit, not just stuff that ends up forgotten on a shelf. I'm a video producer and tech journalist over at Tom's Guide, and over here, my whole thing is helping you figure out if something is actually worth buying. So if that sounds useful, consider subscribing. And if you're looking for anything that I mentioned in this video, it's all linked down below and it helps support the channel. And so despite being nearly 2 years old now, I think the Pocket 3 is still in a lane of its own. And in nearly every one of the 200 plus videos that I've made in the past 2 years, big tech events, concerts, interviews, POV shots, unboxings, you name it, this camera has been basically part of all those projects. And looking back, no other camera that I've owned or tested has come that close to filling all those roles for me. But there's just one problem. This camera is really expensive now. Originally, the Pocket 3 launched at $519, which was a great price, but it's now gone up to $799. That's right, a $280 price increase, or about 54%. So that's obviously not great, and it puts this little camera dangerously close to other compact prosumer cameras like the Sony ZV-1 and even the new Canon PowerShot V1 if you're considering the $979 creator combo kit, which I use. You might think it'd be game over for the Pocket 3, but this camera is still selling out. People are waiting weeks for restocks. So is the Pocket 3 still worth buying in 2025 after the price hike? So to help answer that, let's go back to those cameras like the Sony ZV-1 and Canon PowerShot V1. The pricing is so close that you actually might be leaning towards those cameras over the Pocket 3. After all, they deliver better stills, have optical zoom, and they have larger sensors, which arguably deliver better image quality than this. If you want a hybrid camera that's also good for stills, you should definitely skip on the Pocket 3. But for a video first tool, this is what I'm gonna get into, especially for solo creators like myself, even those bigger cameras still can't come close to this. DJI's 1-inch sensor gives you this really nice low light performance and shallow depth of field that you wouldn't expect in a camera this small. That's the magic sauce that gives me the extra video quality I was looking for over my iPhone that is actually comparable to those other more pro cameras. And when paired with its built-in gimbal, you're now getting cinematic movement without lugging around a heavy dedicated gimbal. And then of course there's the subject tracking, and it's like having a mini camera operator in your pocket. And you've seen me use this trick for a lot of my videos, especially starting them off. I'll either walk in a frame, I'll hold a product in hand, and it looks so smooth and so well put together that you'd actually think there was a second person behind the camera. Oh, and let's talk about slow motion, because the Pocket 3 does 4K 120 frames per second, which nearly every other compact camera at this price point still can't touch. You're lucky to even get 4K 60, not to mention you're probably gonna have a crop factor too. For the most part, 1080p 120 frames per second is the best you're gonna get. But beyond all that, the thing I probably appreciate most is that despite this being nearly 2 years old, the Pocket 3 still gets meaningful firmware updates. Just a few months ago, we got lossless medium telephoto zoom that unlocks a 40mm equivalent view in 4K that I now use all the time. Again, other cameras may see a few stability fixes over time, but to get completely new features years later, yeah, probably not. Finally, let me share the Pocket 3 setup that you've seen me use throughout this video, as I think it's a big part of what makes this camera so special, and a lot of people have been asking about how I use it. First, you'll notice the smaller cover that lifts and opens. Compared to the original cover, this is way less bulky, and it actually makes the camera fit in my pocket a lot better. Go figure. I've also popped the camera into a small rig cage that gives me multiple mounting points, a hot shoe, 1/4 inch thread, and DJI's quick release. That's great for top-down shots that I use for unboxings. And now one of my favorite things is this gives me a quick spot to mount my wireless mic so that I'm never fumbling or looking for it between shots, and that's huge. And then when I need it, I usually pair it with my 𝗙cie RGB LED light, mounts to the same spot quickly. And this light is surprisingly powerful and versatile for its size. It's great for low light or adding pops of color, and it even doubles as a power bank, which can help keep this whole setup charged when I need it. Put it all together, and this setup is not only compact, but it lets me get shots that are more comparable and sometimes even better than my full frame camera if I add nothing else. Not to mention it takes less space on my bag, it's faster to set up, and it's not breaking my back. So I've got a full video on my favorite Osmo Pocket 3 accessories coming out soon, so be sure to stay subscribed if you want to take your setup even further. So we've come to that point in the video. Is the Pocket 3 still worth buying at $799? If you can actually find one in stock, I think it is, especially if you're a video first or content creator who wants a camera that's always with you that can do a lot. And for a lot of people, this is one of the smartest camera choices that you can get in 2025, but let me know what you think about this setup, or if there's something else that you're eyeing, maybe another camera that I should try next time. You'll find links to everything in the description to help support the channel. You can follow me everywhere on socials and over at Tom's Guide to see what other cool tech I'm reviewing. Until the next one, catch you later.